Am I supposed to be upset that you asked me to be on a failed podcast? What? That's offensive.
Well, you know, I don't know what to say. Jerry told me to call you. I'm just kidding.
I'm Josh Nolan, and I have failed, succeeded, and then failed some more.
That was even better than the first time we tried it.
There we go.
Okay, so I kind of messed up on the audio, so please bear with me. It's just the first part. I didn't press record on my computer on the audio part, and I was using the Blue Yeti mic, so just the first part's kind of weird, but then after that, the audio gets better. So please bear with me.
ASMR edition. Listen to us drink water.
My wife loves ASMR. I think this is going to be a favorite then.
Isn't that something crazy? What has it... Where has our childhood gone from Saturday morning cartoons
Right?
to the entertainment that we have?
Right. It's funny because we're actually going to talk a little bit about that because, you know, about as far as TikTok, but it's just so crazy to me how social media and just, I mean, anything's entertaining now if you think about it.
We're on the precipice of just all new entertainment, all new avenues. 10 years ago, we didn't have apps. Mm-hmm. Now we do. The jobs, the money, the ability to find opportunity out there. I think we're just, I don't know if you're in the metaverse, but that's a whole nother.
Are you in the metaverse?
No, I'm a 37-year-old man with 4 kids. I don't have time to be in no metaverse.
I'm trying to be. But welcome to the Failed Podcast. I'm here with my guest, Josh Nolan. He's a successful business owner, and he's a successful, which is shocking for me to say this, Tik Toker.
Oh, boy.
He's amassed over 750,000 followers, and welcome to the Failed Podcast, TikToker. Do you like being called a TikToker?
It's it's a badge that I hide so that people don't see it. No, it's given me a lot of opportunity to show my passion, my job to people that would have never even looked me up. And
right.
So in that, I'm definitely grateful for the opportunity that it has given me in my business, and so look forward to talking to you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming here, and this is our 6th episode, so I'm wearing Kobe 6s, and I don't know if Josh here cares anything about shoes, but I'm wearing Kobe 6s, so this
Does that
that's
answer your
that's
question?
The one right there.
I just got off work. What are these, Kobe Zeros?
No, those are better, actually. I think those will be better for your feet and everything, but welcome to the Failed Podcast, and I want to thank you again for coming here. And first off, first question here, tell us about what you do. And I know it's something interesting because of the fact that when I first heard about what you did, and I know I'll let you talk about it, I thought differently. So tell us a little bit about that, and I guess I'll tell you what I thought about it at first.
Yeah. Well, let me know. I look forward to hearing my mom and dad, when I was doing this, still didn't understand. And I grew up from my dad installing carpets. So
right.
It is something that is kind of unique. When I first started, there wasn't even a category on Google or Yelp for carpet repair. It was carpet installation and carpet cleaning.
Right, and that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought when you said carpet repair, it's cleaning or shampooing.
Sure.
But it's different.
It is different. Now, a lot of the guys who do what I do are carpet cleaners rather than the installers who would maybe have more experience and tools. So it's maybe given carpet repair a bad name through the decades because I've had a lot of people uneasy with the idea of basically what I do is I come in someone's house, I'm going to cut open their carpet like a surgeon, and then I'm going to carefully piece in, patchwork carpet back in place. So if someone, especially in this Bay Area, the dogs rip up the carpet, the cats rip up the carpet. I've had pet rabbits rip up the carpet. Even a rat who snuck in under a door, ripped up the carpet, chewed it up. There's your ASMR. And these customers, right, a lot of them are tenants. A lot of them are trying to get their security deposit back. They're maybe fearful of talking to their property manager, or maybe they've clued them in on it, and they just need to resolve it. So they're going to replace all the carpet. Are they going to live with it and risk it? In the Bay Area, we pay the most for rent, security deposits. So what I do is all over. I've networked with so many people from all around the country and even the UK, Australia. I was FaceTiming a guy 2 days ago. He just finished certification. He's a carpet cleaner trying to do this. So it's crazy how much of a demand this is, but it relatively is a new thing. And it's really neat to be one of the guys who was showing this to these social media platforms.
Pioneering it, huh? Well, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around, but it's always been something that, oh yeah, I got someone or a handyman who can do it. And I'm really trying to make it into like a thing that people
specific business.
Understand.
Do you actually still clean carpet though?
No, I never cleaned. I used to install, but I haven't done that for 8 years. Maybe a friends or family type of thing, but I got a story about that as well. I don't know if you got.
I'm actually excited to hear that story,
Well,
and it's interesting to me because of the fact that you know, you talk about the deposit. I live in Southern California, and the deposit is also expensive.
Right.
I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I pay $2,400 a month, but I'm pretty sure it's more here.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did a house apartment. And the rent was up to $8,000. I mean, it was a penthouse in San Francisco, but the mean price was, I did a video about it. I think it was somewhere around $4,000 for just to rent. And that's what people are paying. I mean, of course, you're going to pay less as you go further south to Morgan Hill or Gilroy, but it's still pretty, people don't understand. And that's one of the things people are like, crazy. Why would you repair that carpet and pay you? Just their security deposits are a couple $100. Right. But in the Bay Area, we're paying $2,000, maybe a month's worth of rent or even more. So it's maybe a little different, but once again, I think this is something that is a demand anywhere where there's carpet. There's going to be a demand for carpet repair.
It's funny, as soon as I started realizing what you did, I sent it to one of my students. Yeah. And I told him, hey, you should think about doing this. Because, I mean, this is, I think, you know, I think about it. I teach economics in our school. Yeah. Economically, it makes sense, you know, because I know exactly, because I know I know there's one video. I don't know exactly how much you charge, but there was one video you actually said how much you charged. And, you know, you said how long it took you. Right. And then there was another video that I did some researching. You said you did 5 in one day. Right. So, you know, I started doing the math and I'm like, hey, man, you should learn to do this, you know?
Hey, as long as you don't ship them over here to the Bay Area. No, we got some good guys over in LA, Southern California. Yeah, that's the thing. This is an add-on for so many carpet cleaners where it just makes sense. It's like picking up $100 bill on the ground. Right. Why wouldn't I? I'm going to bend it. Now, again, people have to get over some anxiety and some kind of, you know, there's certain training to be able to cut someone's carpet up. Right. But typically I found, and I've reached out to my carpet guys out there, repair guys, have you ever had a job go south? Has someone never paid? Have you been sued? And I'm not hearing those stories. I'm sure there's some out there, but that's really the number one reason why people don't get into this. They're fearful. I didn't do the job. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be held responsible. And there was that part of me that was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it.
There's always a fear.
There's
starting
a fear.
Anything.
Exactly. And starting a business, but even in doing this type of niche type work where it wasn't common. It was really kind of maybe a side thing that you would do. You wouldn't do it full time.
Now, when did it hit you to go for this specifically? And I know you said you installed carpet. Right. When did you say, you know what? No more installing carpet. Right. This is easier. This is smarter. And we could actually do something with this specific niche.
There you go, James. What it was, I was turning 30. I was over in Santa Clara Rivermark. I had a realtor, Mike, who was always kind enough to give me his installs for these houses. I was doing 1 or 2, maybe 3 a month at the height of this. But I was a school teacher for 7 years. So I had to do the demands, of course, my salary job, but also the installs with barely any time. So I would be going after school and I would have to turn this around, you know, on his timetable because the real estate market, it's got to be done. But if I didn't if I started turning down jobs, I wouldn't get them all and they'd find someone else. Right. That's my mentality. So consequently, I had my buddy Eric helping me and we're sitting there and it just hit me after the police had come to the door because of a noise disturbance. if you're familiar with those Rivermark houses, they're all townhomes. So we try to be quiet, but we were trying to get it done in a certain time. Oof. And it was like, man, that was like the second time, within a period of a few months that someone, had complained and people called and I was like, I can't keep this up. I had been doing repairs. I loved them, but I didn't know if I could do them full time. So I just made a promise to myself for that birthday candle wish. I said, I'm going to stop saying yes to installs and I'm just going to take on repairs and I'm going to really focus on that. With the caveat, if it slowed down, if I didn't have work, of course I'm going to take on installs, right? I'll just start doing that again. And that's been 8 years now.
Wow.
And it's been carpet repair, having a time doing it.
Would you say, I don't know if that's segues to this next question, because, like I said, this is called the Failed Podcast. Right. Would you say that's the failing point in your business? And I guess we just want to hear two things, because, you're doing well now, but want to hear, I guess, where was the failing point, maybe in your life or maybe in the business?
Oh, yeah, good question. And, what I realized a long time ago was I was born on third base, but I didn't hit a triple. I was given so much. I was given the tools. I was given great parents. I was given a good background. I went to a Christian school. I had awesome teachers. The people who invested in my life, my personality, how I talk to customers, it all traces back to someone coaching me, I witnessed that. So that has helped me. I don't want to be like patting myself on the back saying, look at all these things I've done. If it wasn't for all of those mentors, teachers, influencers in my life, I wouldn't be able to have any type of measure of success that I have running a small business by myself, not off the truck. I'm not doing anything crazy, but I am able to survive in the Bay Area as a blue collar worker. So I want to get that out of the way.
Right.
So I haven't really had like this, I'm in the gutter moment with failure. But this does come to mind as I was thinking about, you have me on the podcast. It was 2009, just welcomed home a baby boy. We bought a house within a couple months. So this was the turn of the economic downfall. It was the...
before this one. That's great.
Before this one, exactly. Every 5 to 10 years it repeats. But the housing market crisis, I had a lot of friends who lost their houses. We were able to buy. But at the time I was teaching and I needed at least one job a week just to break even. Just to pay the bills.
Right.
And I was optimistic with that because we were able to buy a house. I wouldn't have been able to do it on my salary and with my wife at home not working anymore. It was just based on me. So,
which is crazy in this area to buy a house.
Right. But I had the in because first time home buyer and it was a short sale. But at the same time, it took all of our resources. Yeah. And so I needed a job and it was getting a little tight. Bills needed to come. Credit card, we had one. It was already maxed out. I'm looking at that bank account. It's getting down. And I'll never forget the job. I was just hoping, praying, wanting work, right? Willing to do it. And I got a call. I was so excited, right? Man, this is great. My phone rang. It was in San Francisco. And so I think it was maybe a couple $100. But at that time, I had no money in my bank account, no money in my credit card. I needed that job. We were living like not just paycheck to paycheck, but job to job in that small time. Now, by the way, homeowner. So it's not like I'm in the gutter. I could have sold a house or whatever, but we're a young family. So it was just one of those things where I was really desperate and looking for that job. I went to San Francisco. I didn't have enough gas to get back home. And I realized, oh man, they can't pay me in credit card. They can't pay me in check. I need to get cash. So that was my mentality is I gotta let them know. And man, I'm like, how did I get myself into this situation? Well, I get to the job and I guess this is another learning point for me, but they were just looking for a quote. And they were like, okay. No. And I had already thought I had given it to them. And so definitely since this time, I've learned how to never have this happen again.
Right.
But now they're wanting me to just leave after 5 minutes of looking at their project. Man. And I'm like, I can't make it home. What am I going to do? I'm going to ask someone for money, like I can't put it on my credit card. I don't have, the money in my bank. So I said, would you be willing to do it for 150? Well, we'll see. We're kind of looking at other quotes. I said 100. And I tell you, James, I was willing to do it for $15 just so I could have enough money to get back home.
Wow.
And for me, that was a low moment because I was like, how did I get myself into this situation? But it also was, I knew, from day one doing this job, I would be willing to do, no matter how nasty the job or, pet urine soaked, whatever. It's not all glitz glamorous because I'm working on filthy carpet many times.
Right.
But I'm willing to do that, to provide for my family.
Right.
And so he was able to settle it for 100. I had a little extra money to show for myself. I got myself home. He paid in cash.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a moment pivotal for me to say, how can I make sure I don't get in this situation next week? And, part of that is knowing how to budget your money and again, knowing how to not make purchases. And, again, every business, especially starting out, is going to have those times. It's not as bad as some other guys. It wasn't this, but I learned how to handle customers through that time, how to make sure I bid the job, how to look at pictures, especially with cell phones and smartphones. I could send that to where it's all down, it's all figured, and they don't have to wonder, what the estimate is. I know how much time to plan. I know how much work it's going to take. I know the supplies and materials. They know the cost. That's the negotiation. We've already settled it. I don't have to go to a job and wheel and deal and barter. It's just clear. And really at that point, I think work started turning around as far as how I scheduled jobs and wasn't going to get in that spot again.
I think it's crazy you said that because you said you were, was it again 30 years old? 30? You just turned 30?
For that one, that was when, I guess right, well, a little younger than that.
Oh, a little younger than 30, yeah. So it's just amazing to me because you're telling me about like when things started turning around and you told me about when you started doing the patching of the carpet. It's amazing to me because that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm 31. I've been teaching in our Christian school for, I think, I don't know now, 8-9 years.
Yeah.
And just kind of trying to, try some things out.
Right.
So that's awesome.
But mind you, people, we are at the Radisson now, so we are living it nice. We get our funny. Niagara water.
It's funny, actually. Before this room, we were at another room and we found like a couple bugs, and then we complained about it. So we're not gonna put that on Hotels.com or anything like that. But
what are you gonna do? I know a good pest control guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Well, what was the turning point? I'm guessing, you kind of touched on that a little bit, but we talked about, I guess, the low point. Is there another time, or would it be that time where everything just kind of started turning around, everything was good, everything was great, and it was just like, wow, it may not be great, but I mean, there's something here, and it's just like...
Right. Well, with what I do, I mean, I left the full-time teaching and went full-time repair, so that was a big moment for me. At that time, I was still doing installs and repair. It was just any money that I could get, I would do. And it was a couple years after that I went full-time repair. So I think it was for me, it's always been the customers' reactions and their gratitude when they called 10 other stores and they said, no, I can't do this. We didn't install it. We don't cut in anyone else's carpet, blah, blah, blah. And then my customer was like, but then I found you. I saw your reviews on Yelp. And I was like, man, I hope this guy is what I think what everyone's saying he is. And for to help a customer and to see their reaction, to see the happiness, you just took care of it. A big problem that, again, they're thinking maybe they're going to lose a lot of money. And I thought, man, if I can work a job every day and make people that happy, and they're going to spread, the word, and I think I can really go far with this, especially because no one's wanting to do it. So I think it was all around that time, but it's been my customers' reactions and their remarks that have basically encouraged me to keep going with repairs. Right.
You have over 750,000 TikTok followers. when I mean that's a lot of followers. I
Oh,
mean
yeah.
that's more than Toronto Raptors forward Pascal Siakam. I mean,
This guy, he's got the shoes, man.
I
He's
think
got the trivia.
but when did TikTok come in?
Yeah, tell me about it. That's all been really a whirlwind. It's been
Mm-hmm.
really fast. I mean, it's been about a year and a half now, but right before the pandemic, I was trying to get onto social media, YouTube videos, Instagram, and I was watching a video that said if you really want to boost your Instagram numbers, you got to also post on TikTok. Never heard of it. Went on there and I was like, where am I? It was a bunch of dance moves and everything.
Right.
And I was like, well, you know what? This guy seemed to know what he was talking about.
Did your wife oppose you going to
No,
TikTok?
I would show her, there was a lot of funny stuff on there too. But, I think like anything, once you like certain things or follow certain
Right.
people, it curtails it.
Right.
But when you first get on there, they're showing you anything and everything.
Right.
So I think that's how a lot of social media, I'm not the biggest social media guy in general. I've only really done it for business. So I started posting videos on there and people were, I was noticing the views were a lot more than Facebook, YouTube, that kind of thing. And people were saying FYP. And I looked it up and at that time, whatever Google search I read said, fix your page. So I thought, oh man, they don't like it. Something's wrong with the
Right.
video. But I didn't realize that they were saying For You page,
Right.
which was their like, I really like your video and more people should watch it. So I started seeing that. And then you had the first one that hit 1 million views and your phone is just buzzing with notifications, likes, comments, people in disbelief. You have your haters, you have people who love it. And it's like, wow, you have a guy in a closet fixing carpet and yet people find interest in it. And like we were saying a little earlier, who knows the amount of opportunities that are out there right now that are being made, especially with some of these social media sites. I'm not going to be any Mr. Beast with carpet,
Right.
okay? But I mean, you take that guy's influence and how he started,
Right.
and it was just consistency, and he found
Right.
his way of doing it.
He was crazy.
Yeah, I just watched a documentary on him last night.
Oh, really?
My kids love him, and what's cool about him, they also like Dude Perfect. I mean, these guys have they're Christians,
Right.
and then they've been able to use their influence in this world to really go. I mean, they're stellar, and they're doing so much, and they're giving back. And so, if I can be in a small way in the carpet side of TikTok doing that, then that's great. I think the biggest compliment I've gotten from people is during COVID, they were saying this is like therapy for them to hear
Right.
my voice, to see me fixing carpet, hear the tools. And for me, that makes me want to laugh. But at the same time, I understand there is a hurting world. And if they see someone who loves his job and is fixing carpet, we can't solve all these big world problems, right? Again, not to get political, but what's the big thing now? It's the environment. Or
Right.
then you look at all the different, everyone is opposing each other. If I can fix even just a small little thing in someone's life and make
Right.
it better, then that gives me satisfaction. And I feel like I am making the world a better place, one carpet patch at a time.
Did you think you would amass that many followers?
No, with that, I had no idea. Again, I was trying to grow Instagram, which for me, it's not even, I think I have 10, 11,000 on
You're
there.
just trying to reach this area even.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden people are watching you and start following you.
Yeah.
And once some of those videos start going viral, I guess, I don't know what's viral now. I mean,
Right.
1 million used to be big, but I don't think it's big anymore. The biggest video I've gotten is like 17 million views.
Wow.
But even then, that's nothing compared to the world of
Right.
viral videos now. But I'm grateful for it. But I think once those get pushed, man, people just start following you like crazy, and then commenting and sharing, and that's the cool part about that community is if someone is in a need or they see some carpet problem in a video, and they're not even addressing carpet, but people tag me all the time. Someone's talking, and in the background, there's carpet that's messed up or rippled.
They want you to be like Gordon Ramsay.
I
You
guess
see
so.
that one? Gordon Ramsay
Yeah.
critiques the
Right.
the food.
Right.
It should be you. That could
Yeah.
be that could be new series.
I don't know. That would probably go against my personality there to be like,
You have
what
to
are you
be
doing? But yeah, I think that's been to see that just start growing. And so it's, I mean, I'm in disbelief again. I never planned I'm going to do all this, but it's definitely given me encouragement to keep going. And there's been other opportunities and things presented that could be in the future that, again, I would have never dreamed that I've been in contact with people about. So I'm excited. I'm encouraged to keep doing it. And even if in 10 years I'm still on the truck, so to speak, right? And I'm doing what I'm doing now, I love it. So if I'm helping people in one way with their carpet problem, and then with these people over here enjoying watching carpet getting fixed and making them feel better,
Right.
then it's like a win-win, right? Yeah.
I think it's cool because of the fact that, I mean, I think you can agree with me. It's kind of like art. I watch some of your videos. I'm being honest. I watched a couple at first. Yeah, I've known you for a couple of years now, from afar or ish.
Sure.
But I watched it. And then I just started, of course, I had to get ready for the interview. So I started watching all of it more. And then I just got in a rabbit trail of just watching all of your videos.
Oh, yeah.
And I just started talking about, like, you know what? Because, I'm kind of business minded. I'm like, this is a good idea. We should probably. And I started doing the economic of it. And I'm just like, and it is art. It's so, personally, I guess, as a fan, it is, it's kind of like ASMR, that feeling that you get where you're just like, it feels good, Right. I don't know what it is. Yeah. And I think what's good too is, I've seen you in skits and youth conferences and everything like that. And I think you tried to put a little bit of that into it.
The personality is going to come through, right? So I never wanted to take myself too serious with it, because, I mean, in the end of the day, right, there are guys who I used to be, before I was on TikTok, I was on YouTube, and there's like, every trade has wars, right? These guys are saying, this is how you do this one thing.
Right.
And these are, no, you don't do it that way, you do it this way. And it's like, again, like we say with anything in this world, everyone is on the right side and these guys are on the wrong side. And it's just so ugly and messy. So I was like, I don't want to get involved with that. I'm just going to be passionate and hopefully humorous with what I do to maybe, again, it's like paint drying, you know? It's because for me, I do it all the time. But yeah, I've had customers say it's art. I've had people say it's magic. You're a wizard, Harry Potter. I
saw that video. You did something Harry Potter.
Right. There's all of that. So yeah, I love the artistic side of it. And then now with social media, I've always loved, when I used to teach, I used to do a video editing class. So I've already had some of that knowledge. And then it's like, now I can apply it. It helps my family. Again, it's like, it's a hat that I wear, maybe like social media, but it's a hobby. So again, if you're passionate and you like something, then is it really a job?
It's funny you said something about a war, because one of our followers, I think he's a subscriber, but you know him, @FullyLover, had a question. He said, why do you hate big carpet so much?
You tell that Fully Love. Congratulations on the purchase of your carpet store.
Next guest. No, I'm kidding.
Big Carpet is against carpet repair. Why would they, and this goes back to thousands now of customers who've told me this, Jane. Oh, we can't fix this pet damage on your carpet. Instead, let's replace all of it.
Right.
Let's replace $10,000. Oh, yeah. We'll get you a good deal, though. And so here are these customers of mine who have one or two areas. They just need someone to do a little magic, a little art. And yet Big Carpet says, no, it can't be done. Trust us. We've got the brick and mortar. We got the flashy neon lights. And yet us little carpet guys in our little trucks riding around, we're overshadowed because of Big Carpet.
I don't know if I'll put this in, but is he a Big Carpet now?
He is. He works at a carpet store.
That's why he asked that question.
He bought a carpet store.
That's why.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to figure out, like, this is a specific question.
Right.
So there's a war now.
There's a war.
Oh, man.
But, I've reached out. I think he is actually interested, in all seriousness, to add carpet repair now to his newly purchased business. And we'll see. I mean,
that's so funny.
If there can be some training seminar or something involved with that, I think that'd be a great addition to a carpet store, adding maybe like an insurance type of thing where for their carpet, they'd be willing at a certain price to come back and within a certain time frame fix any mishaps that happen because it's, again, so easy to happen.
Let that be a lesson, America. Big carpet repair, uniting.
Come on.
That's right. That's what we need right now. Anyways, speaking of questions, I have a couple questions. Zach Church, well, we know who he is, but Zach Church asked, what's the worst job you've ever done? Whether it be repairing or installing, or, well, I guess we'll just stick with the repair, not the installing, because I think you already talked about the installing, the worst job where they kept trying to call the police on you.
Yeah, that was no fun. That's funny with Zach because he was my first technician.
Oh.
I'm carpet repair guys, but for the longest time it was just me. So Zach, we made him a shirt that said S. He was the guys of carpet repair guys. Yeah, he helped me for a year and a half, so it's funny that he would say that. He would probably say the job I took him on where there was animal poop on the carpet that then he had to work around and fix because it was stained and they couldn't get it out. And so he is on this job and I would have him come with me and I'm having him fix this stuff. And he's like, I can't believe how dirty and filthy this is. And I want to go home and take a shower.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to the next job. It's just the life of a carpet guy.
So the worst job actually involves you?
It probably involves him. Yeah, it's gonna be the odor in the animals. I mean, honestly, even worse than that is urine, because our machine, when it zaps that carpet, it heats up, and a lot of times it's gonna pull up. If you can imagine taking a bowl of cat urine and putting it in the microwave, what that would smell like is, I've never done that, but I've been on jobs when I've heated that up, and that's kind of. It permeates your clothes. Mm-hmm. So, for your economics student, maybe he needs to know that side of this as well, instead of just the dollar bills.
Are you an animal person?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
We have a sheepadoodle
okay.
at our house, 2 years old. And when she was a puppy, she was already causing me to have to take my tools in after work to fix her mess.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I've done that.
I guess I'm not going to say what I'm going to say next, so never mind. Because my wife and I are full on non-animal people.
No animals at all.
No, not at all. Which is so crazy because growing up, I thought, man, every girl likes dogs. I'm never gonna find a girl that won't like dogs.
Yeah.
So I just have to suck it up. I literally my whole life I'm like, okay, I just need to learn to like dogs because every girl likes dogs. And I actually found a girl that doesn't want a pet.
Where does this come from? No dogs.
I don't know. I don't know.
I've not met too many people who are anti-dogs.
No, we're not anti. It's not like we want to kill them or anything.
What did that dog do to you as a 5-year-old?
I think it's because I'll tell you a story. Maybe it's because I'm Filipino. Okay, I know there's
what
this.
What happened? Now,
I'll tell you the
what
story.
realm have we gone into? Cuisine?
I'll tell you the story. So when I was young, so a neighbor moved in. We had, I think, 2 or 3 dogs. And we gave them a dog. We said, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Here's a dog in the Philippines.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, I think a week and a half later, they invited us for dinner. And then we're eating. My brother's eating. And then my brother, not my brother. He was still pretty young. But, my parents asked, hey, where's the dog we got you? And then they just looked at the food. And then we were just like, and then my brother started crying. I was too young. I was younger than my brother, so I didn't really.
On this very special episode of Failed Podcast.
So
that'll do it.
Maybe that's it,
Oh, man.
I've never been bit by a dog or anything. I'm just,
right.
I don't know. Like if I see a dog on the side of the road and be like, somebody take care of that dog. Just not me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, this would be the wrong word then, because almost every job there's some pet or something that has caused the damage, right? So you gotta be you gotta be somewhat of a dog cat person.
I was gonna ask, maybe did this drive the hatred towards having pets?
Oh no, I'm looking at those little buggers and going, thank you. You just put food on my table.
That's true.
Oh, keep it up. And they're always the customers saying, how can we make sure this doesn't happen again? Conflict of interest. You think I'm going to give them the right answer?
Right.
No, I don't put any peanut butter under the carpet, so they go back to it. No, I never do that.
That is smart, though.
Right? Repeat work. No, it's I don't know what the question was.
Oh, but... no. Are you an animal lover?
I do. I love them, and I will pet them and thank them because without them, I wouldn't have nearly as much work.
I guess I am in a way an animal lover because of how, as much as I love steak. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. I don't prefer to eat dog. Okay, it just doesn't help the whole stereotype because I
No.
did get to eat.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Hey, you're speaking your truth.
one person asked at jcity.1 said, "Why do you irresponsibly drink or put ice on milk?"
Why would he? What does that have anything to do with what we're doing
I
right
have
now?
no idea, but I made sure to tell you or ask you that
Irresponsible.
question.
You know, there's a lot baked into that question, and he seems to suggest that I see iced coffee right there. People put ice in their soda without batting an eye, right? It waters down that drink. Well, if you wanted to have a cool, refreshing glass of milk with maybe some cookies, what's wrong with a little ice cube in there?
I agree.
Oh, it's going to water it down. What are you, some type of sloth? How long does it take you to drink your milk, Josh? How long does it take you to drink your iced coffee?
And iced coffee has milk.
And it has milk. Exactly my point. So, you know what? Just throw that one out.
All right.
We don't even
never mind.
need
We're not answering that.
a
We're going
racist
to edit
for
that
the
out.
podcast. No one needs to even hear this.
Well, I guess we'll segue on to kind of like a more serious question here, but I only have 3 questions, and I know you're a busy person, so I'm going to try my best to be quick here. First of all, what are your tips on going viral?
Oh, wow. I don't think anyone has the solution. Let me just speak to that by saying there are some videos that I've done like, ooh, I remember this one last week did really well. This one, wow, and it's a flop.
Wow.
So I would say what I've learned is just be passionate about what you do, be authentic, and just keep doing it. And again, I've not really had anything go viral on any other platforms. So again, I'm going to be thankful for what I have with TikTok, but it's not that I have cracked the code or have a secret recipe. I think a lot of it is something unique, that you're not copying someone else. Again, I was doing something that most people didn't even know existed. So if anyone is trying to start something, you got to start getting comfortable, like what you're doing here, maybe pushing yourself and then trying to find ways to make it your own. Because, again, I look at people who have been successful with it and they all have their style. If you're going to try to be someone else, what do they say? You'll only be second best at best. Maybe you'll be third or fourth because other people will be better at that person than you will be. But you can be number one if you're being yourself.
That's great. That's actually really good. I'm going to take that to heart, to be honest with you.
That's nothing original, but it needs to be said because I've never tried to, get famous or get so many subscribers. Those weren't even my goals. I was just trying to use a free avenue of advertisement for my business.
Right.
And I'll tell you this, I'll get honked at and I would think, oh no, did I cut that person off? And it's someone waving saying, I love your videos.
No.
I've been on vacation hours away, but in my truck.
Right.
And people have getting a coffee saying, making a big deal, going, I know you, I watch your videos. So the amount of outreach and influence that you can have, again, small scale, it's pretty profound. So use it, help people, be authentic, and keep doing it. You got to stay at it, right? Anyone's going to say that.
And I think that helps not just with going viral, but I feel like with a lot of, because I try to gear this towards young people and young adults.
Right. They're
trying so hard to be somebody that they're not. And even in life, really.
Yeah. What kid, here's the thing. I'll speak to this. At 16, 17, there's a lot of pressure. What am I going to do, right? Like my dad taught me this trade. I never thought this is what I'm going to follow in his footsteps.
Right.
Or in his knee pads, I should say. Because we're always on our knees. But I knew that, like he taught me, I'll have this to fall back on. And it was the same. It was true. I did this in college. I started the business in 2003. I taught. And I always have this to provide income. It's okay to not know everything that you are supposed to be or what you need to be, again, being so young.
Mm-hmm.
Follow opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Dream. But it's rare that that person is going to be able to do both.
Right.
To have his dreams be paved out for him to follow.
Right.
I didn't even know what my dreams were at 17.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I just had to have an answer. Here's what what are you going to do when you grow up? I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you have a passion for something, see how where that takes you. If you have a drive, see what opportunities. So many people think it's college or it's this or that. Maybe there's an opportunity for you right in front of you with the cards that you're dealt that you can do something amazing with that you love. Because I would say, ask most people, do you love your job?
Mm-hmm.
Even the ones who make a lot of money.
No.
A lot of them don't.
No.
Too much stress, too much time restrictions. There's so much that, and it's not like, again, I've shared some things about my job that are gross,
Mm-hmm.
that I don't like.
Right.
But there's so many, it's going to be, does it outweigh? And so, but I do, I love my job. And I would say that's the most important thing, even more than, you got to be able to pay the bills. But
Right.
if you don't love what you do,
Right.
doesn't sound like a fun, good life to me.
And I think that's why, so many people get stressed, or so many young people get stressed, because I feel like in the back of their minds, they know what it means to be successful, which is to be happy and, love what they're doing.
Right.
But then I feel like there's this pressure of what success looks like. And many times they try to go for what it looks like or what it seems like success, but they're not actually going for the real success. And which is, loving what you do, being at peace, being happy, kind of what we've been talking about in this podcast. And and it's sad. It really is sad. And so many times, sadly, there are a lot of people that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s. They still haven't figured it out.
Yeah. No, it is a sad testament to what you think is going to give you happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, like in my job and what you're trying to do, you're trying to help other people.
Right.
And yes, I get paid for it, but I'm helping people.
Right.
And like I told you, what was that deciding factor for me to pursue this? It was the reaction on my customers' faces.
Right.
It was the happiness and the fulfillment that I received from that. When I was a teacher, that was a hard thing for me to have to leave. And I had so many good years, but the work was never done. And
Right.
that's a long-term thing. So I have so much respect for people who, like you, are teaching and influencing that next generation.
Because I want to get out. I'm just kidding.
Well, I hear you on that. But the people who stick it out and do that, you're not making a ton of money.
Right.
And there's so many headaches and hassles and students and parents and then the workload and all of this that you're trying to do.
Right.
But the ones who find a way to do that, and are good at it,
Yeah.
that's
I have
awesome.
so much respect.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And so and then you just look at that, across the board. So again, I think we put a lot of pressure on kids. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And maybe just see what they're in. That's what I'm trying to do now with my kids becoming teenagers. I have one who will be a teenager this year. What are they bent towards? What do they like? And let's gear them and see if they're interested. And if not, no pressure.
Right.
Let's expose them to so many different avenues
Right.
while they're young and give them some experience, give them some training. And then maybe they can fall back on that like I did with my dad in their 20s or before their 30th birthday.
Random question. This is how I feel. I like teaching. I don't like being a teacher. Did you kind of feel that? Maybe
Yeah,
not in the
teaching.
beginning, but
I did. I love teaching, and then there were I never. Here's the truth. I never trained for being a teacher.
right.
So again, going back to our
Same.
school, it was just one of those things that there was a role it needed to be filled. I was willing to do it for a year, and then what happens? A year turns into
Right.
2, 3, 5, 7
7.
for me.
Same.
And there was part of me that tenacity, like I'm not going to give up.
Right.
Like this is difficult, so let me conquer it. But then it came to a part. For me, I remember I watched this movie called Mr. Holland's Opus. And that movie is supposed to be this teacher who left his calling of being a musician to be a teacher. And at the end of his life, his students perform this amazing number, and it's his opus. And
Right.
it's a tribute to his work. I watched that movie with tears in my eyes because I knew I wasn't supposed to be a teacher. I didn't sign up. That wasn't my passion. I wanted to be good at it, but I didn't want to get to the end of my life as I looked at that man, and he was happy that the road turned him to be a teacher instead of his music career. But to me, it had the opposite effect. So it's amazing what books, music, movies can do, just thinking through things. And for me, I was like, you know what? There are other people who want to be in this position, who have a desire, right? And it's easy for me to just take the paycheck. And it's not like I wasn't trying to do my best at it, but I wasn't. That's not why I was built. And I'm so thankful for those 7 years working with teenagers and being able to learn how to better communicate, because now, again, that is helping me in what I do now in some degree or another.
Right. I love teaching.
Right.
Teaching, because this is teaching in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't like being a teacher.
Sure.
And it's amazing you said that about the movies thing, how it kind of had an opposite effect. The goal of it, really, they're like trying to tell you being a teacher is great.
Exactly.
It's kind of, it reminds me of when I went to the Philippines. So I went there not recently, but a couple years ago. It was right after the hurricane happened. And we raised a lot of money. My dad's in charge of just these group of Filipino American pastors. Right. And we raised money and we wanted to give it because we hear these stories where if you donate it, it doesn't get there. So we wanted to go there. So we went all the way to the Philippines and we did a missions trip. And it's amazing to me because every time somebody goes to a missions trip, they're always like, hey, now they want to go to that church or the Philippines or wherever it is. And it's amazing to me. So they're expecting that from me. You know, they're like, hey, look at what's going on here. All these people, all these souls, they want to hear the gospel. Do you want to come down here? I said, no, because it did the opposite for me, because I'm like, man, the hunger is here and there's people here. There is no hunger in America. Right. And it did the opposite to me. I'm like, now I have a burden for America. Yeah. And so it's kind of, I don't know if that's like the
people are more willing, and that hunger is there. And so, people are like, let's go there and help them. Right. But then what can we do to influence and get that hunger back here? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So that's funny how that kind of, I guess, reverse psychology.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Second to the last question here. What is your, and I ask this for every podcast, what is your definition of failure?
I would say, again, my mind maybe goes to Proverbs. If you fall down and don't get back up, you know, if you... Failure, again, like trials, like hardship, is baked into humanity. It's baked into our lives. It's a series of us failing, striving, trying. It's important. Failure is the opportunity to do something better, to do something again. It's the sunrise that we can look at a day with fresh eyes, perspective, but with some experience to maybe not make those mistakes. It's Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day getting that perfect day right. He gets the girl. He plays the piano. I think someone projected he was in that world for 40 years. I watched a YouTube video about that. This is Groundhog's Day.
Somebody actually tried to see how
Someone did all the math on it to see and calculated it, you know, how long was Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day? Right. You know, to make that perfect day, right? Where finally he wasn't interested in himself and he was interested in helping others. But how many times did he fail? Right. You know, in his endeavors, right? But it takes that. And so if you have a healthy look at failure, to see, not be embarrassed by it necessarily, I mean, we got to learn from it, but to realize everyone does it. And now what am I going to do with that? Because the fool is the person who keeps doing the same thing and expects success, expects different results. So that's important, I think.
I like what you said about a healthy look at failure. I feel like I'm going to... Can I steal that tagline? I might use that. A healthy look at failure. I'll put that in the little description there. So we looked at the definition of failure. What is your definition of success?
Ooh, success. There's no conscience so clear as one that can go to bed at night and just fall asleep. Success would be peace.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily wealth. A lot of people have that. Are they successful? They'll be the first to admit it. I mean, I think Jim Carrey said, I wish people could know what it is to have this much fame, this much money, and realize it's not enough and that's not what it's about.
Right.
How many times do we have to see a Tom Brady get that and it's never enough? He's going to retire. Maybe he'll come back. But he has got to drive. It's all about that journey for him, not that destination to get in that ring. So I think success is that journey to strive to better yourself, better the lives of people around you, and having that peace that comes from it, rather than like a dollar sign or a status, fame or whatever it is. Although those are easy low hanging fruit that we use to measure it. But how many people are going to have that level? And the people who do, there's always someone to the right of you or above you who has even more.
Of course.
And it seems like no one's content with that. So they're not content. They don't have that peace. They don't have that just calmness. And I think it just becomes narcissistic, and it's just an ugly machine, a beast that you make when you you have the wrong goals and desires in an effort to have success.
And I don't think, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I don't think you've seen our last episodes, but it's amazing to me that it's the same message. You said peace.
Right.
And it's been peace.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind to hear that, because really that's it. Success is peace, having peace in your life. And,
right.
I mean, that's it, and it's so many times. And it's sad because, you talked about it, what Jim Carrey said about how, if I know about that quote, but I guess I forgot how to phrase it. But it's amazing to me how so many young people still go for it and they don't get it. It's almost like, I've seen somebody get hit by a car.
Right.
I'm not gonna say like, well, maybe for me it's gonna be different. Like,
break the mold.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but they still go for it. I've seen way too many young people or young adults. They're depressed at their careers, and I'm like, why? Why are you going for it then? Yeah. So I'm really glad that you pressed on that and about peace and not getting into. I think there was a term for that called the Hedonic Treadmill. How you get in, and I heard that from he's in YouTube, forgot his name, but he sold Twitch for $1 billion.
Wow.
He sold Twitch for $1 billion, and he thought that was it. But then now he wanted to build a $10 billion company.
Why not?
And then he wanted to build $100 billion. It never ends, and he never find peace. He never found peace until he just gave it all up.
James, there's an old proverb that goes, a wizard was asked, what is the one wish that you could grant your worst enemy? Do you know what he said? I don't think he was a wizard. He was just a man. But here's what he said.
It's better.
It sounded better.
It's cooler.
The wizard said, I wish that my worst enemy would get whatever he wanted as soon as he wanted it. And you would think on the surface, we didn't say your best friend, we said your worst enemy. And the logic goes, what a miserable life it would be to not have any struggle, not to have any journey, not to see accomplishments and wins. If everything you ever wanted was given to you just like that, how would your life, how can you enjoy going downhill on a bicycle when you first didn't learn the pain, the agony, the sweat
to get up
the hill?
Wow.
If everything was just downhill, there would be no perspective. If every day was sunny and there's no rains, if there were no storms. So I think that you have to have that healthy look at struggle, failure, the downsides of life to enjoy the good things.
Right.
Because this life is fleeting, as we know. I teach a little kids Sunday school class. Jesus, others, you. We can't be at the front of it. You know, your faith has to be important. Others, and you're never going to have true joy if you get that switched around. So,
and it's crazy. So I guess what you're saying is, with success, you can't truly enjoy the success without the failure.
I think so. And by the way, this is not me saying I'm a success. I'm still striving. I would love to see more things happen. I'd love to get off my truck. I'd love to do training seminars. I'd like to take the publicity and some of the influence that I have and be able to travel and do things or franchise. I don't know what opportunities await, but I'm excited to go through those. And I'll probably fail along the way, but hopefully we'll have some successes there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I really, really am grateful for this talk. And I guess, that was the last question. Do you have anything to plug?
I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Carpet Repair Guys. And I'm going to be fixing carpet. I'm going to be maybe telling you a story. Check me out. I appreciate James here, the Failed Podcast. What a good outlook that it is to have. And I wish you the best success.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you're in the Silicon Valley area?
Bay Area, San Francisco to Gilroy, Fremont.
If you need your carpet repaired, you know who to go to. Not replaced, not shampooed.
Don't do that.
Repaired. And it's art.
Right.
It is art and is beautiful. And you never know, your carpet can go viral.
Uh-oh, yeah.
You'll see it on TikTok. That's huge. And it's amazing because when I told my students I was interviewing you and I showed the TikTok, a lot of them knew who you were.
Oh, that's just crazy to me.
And it's funny to me because I said, wait, you guys don't recognize him? And then I forgot how long ago it was that you were Hans and Franz.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know which one, Hans or Franz. Which one were you? Hans.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you don't remember Hans? Huh? You remember youth conference? No.
That's a generation ago, James. We're getting old.
I know, we are getting old. I'm like, wait, you guys don't know? How do you not? What?
Yeah.
So they don't know, but they do know you as the carpet guy.
Wow.
So that's exciting.
Wow, that's a badge I'll wear proudly.
Make sure you follow him on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, every social media platform, MySpace.
Go ahead.
Friends.
Go for it.
If you could find him there, follow him. And thank you again for being here. And yeah, follow me as well, Failed Podcast. I'll put the link down below as far as all my socials. Follow me on Twitter at James_Abrot 1030. Follow me on Instagram at James Abrot. And also, you can go ahead and buy my book down below on Amazon and go ahead and try that out. Me versus my friends. And go ahead and subscribe. I'd love for you to subscribe. And also, watch out for our next episode. I'll be interviewing Kyle Travis, Mr. I Can Be Ball himself as well. Thank you so much. And in the words of Jerry White, I'm out.